Hello everyone. In this video we are going to see what are header files in C++. So if we talk about header files, these are the files that contain declarations of functions, classes, macros, data types and other programming elements without defining their implementation. So header file contains function definitions without their implementation, and we can use that function in any of the source file where we have included that header file. Header files contain macros. So macros are for values which are repeatedly used in our program, and they are defined by the #define preprocessor directive. So whenever the compiler sees a macro, it replaces it with the value contained in it. For example, in this you can see we have defined one macro using the #define directive, and we have named it pi, and its value is 3.14159. So, and when the compiler see, it will replace every occurrence of pi in the code with this value during pre-processing. Also, you can see there are some predefined macros like int min and int max, which are defined in limits.h header file. So we can use these without actually declaring them. Also, header file contain predefined data types like clock_t and time_t. These are the data types defined in time.h header file. So we can use these data types. So as we know that data types represent group of some elements, like if we consider integers, then there is a data type int. If we consider decimal, then there is a data type float. If we consider character, then there is a data type character which represent that group. So we can define our predefined data types in our header files, and we can use that header file in any of the source file by just including that header file in that file. Header files contain classes. So if we are having some classes which can be used in many files, so we can store them in a header file. And C++ has already done, like, there are many classes which are used in almost every file. So they have initialized those classes in the header files. And what you do, we have to simply import that header file. So now the question is how we will import the header file. So in order to import header file, we use the preprocessor directive #include. We have to also see that the use of header files promotes modularity, reusability, easier maintenance of code, because header files help us to organize code by separating the declaration from the implementation. Because of this separation, it allows multiple source files to share common elements declared in the header file, which promotes modularity, reusability, and easier maintenance of code. Now we have to also discuss about the header guards. So header guards are basically preprocessor directives which are used to prevent multiple inclusions of the same header file in the source file during compilation. They also help us to ensure that the contents of the header file are included only once, even if the file is included multiple times in the program. So in C++, there are some traditional header guards like #if not defined, #define, and #if. These are the preprocessor directives through which we can implement header guards. There are also like many modern compilers which support a non-standard but widely adopted #pragma_once directive, which serve as an alternative to traditional header guards. Now, header files can be divided into two types: pre-existing header files and user-defined header types. So pre-existing header files is available within your compiler, and it's stored in the default directory of the compiler, while user-defined header files is created by user and stored in our current project directory. Now, in order to import pre-existing header files, we use angular brackets, while we use double quotes to include user-defined header files, as it is shown in the example here. Like in order to import pre-existing header files, we have here used angular brackets, while here we use double quotes. Now the question is, why we are importing header files in a different way? The answer is, while compiling, it tells compiler which type of header file it is, whether it is predefined header file or user-defined header file. If it is a predefined header file, then compiler will search the header file in the directories specified by the include directive or the default directory of the compiler. While for user-defined header file, it will search the header file in the current directory in which your project source code is present. If it is not found there, then it will search the header file in the directories specified by the include directive. Now let's see what are the predefined header files or the standard header files which are present in C++. So before seeing what are the header files present, we have to first know what are standard header files. So standard header files in C++ are provided by the C++ standard library, which offers a wide range of functionalities for various tasks. These header files contain predefined functions, data types, constants, macros that programmers can utilize in their C++ programs without needing to implement these functionalities from scratch. Also, they facilitate various operations like input, output, data structures, algorithms, mathematical calculations, and more. So for input and output, we have header files like iostream, fstream. So iostream contain classes like ostream and istream and predefined objects like cout, cin, and cerr. It takes input and displays output from the console using cin and cout respectively. And the second, we have fstream. It provides the capability of creating and writing or reading a file. Then in the numerics for mathematical calculations, we have cmax.h, complex.h. So they are basically used to perform complex mathematical operations like square root, power functions. Also complex.h deals with the complex number operations and manipulations. Then we have algorithm library. So it contains algorithms that operate on C++ containers like vectors, maps, arrays, etc. And it offers a collection of functions for working on ranges of elements such as sorting, searching, etc. Then we have the container libraries like vector, deque, map, set, which stores elements in if we consider about the set, it stores element in the sorted fashion or in ascending or descending, whichever we want. If we talk about vector, it store in the way we have added the elements in it. And deque provides double-ended queues and associated operations. Now there are string libraries like string and ctype.h. Now let's see this in code. So we will create one simple program in which we will include the iostream header file, and we will take input using cin and we will display it in the terminal using cout. So let's go to the VSCode. So here first I will create one file with the name cpp_1 and make sure you have ended it with the extension .cpp, which denotes the compiler that it is the C++ file. For header files, we use the extension .h. Now we have to first include here the iostream header file for taking input and output. So we will use the #include predefined directive, preprocessor directive. So it is iostream. Now we will use one command using namespace std. So regarding this command, we will discuss in the next video why we are using this command. Now we have to include one function int main. So this is the entry point of our C++ program. So whenever we run this file, this function will be run first. So whatever written inside this function will be run first. So now we know that the iostream library provides objects like cin, cout for taking input output. So let's take input of two numbers. Now in order to take input, we have to first declare variables. Now if you don't know what are variables and data types, just think a variable is the name of the memory location in which you are storing data. So in our computer there are many memory locations. So by declaring a variable, we are using one memory location and giving it a name, so that we can access of declaring a variable is just the type. Like I am here writing the syntax. So let me write in the comments. So you have to know that in order to write the comment, we will use these two slashes. So here the syntax is basically type and the variable underscore name. So now let's declare two variables of type int, and here we will write a, and we can declare the next variable just by the comma and writing the second variable name. We can also declare like this, int a and it b, and make sure that you ended with the semicolon. Now in order to take input, we will use the scene, which is a predefined object of iostream class, and that class is present in our iostream header file. So this object is basically connected to the standard input device, which is in our case is a keyboard, and we use this object in conjunction with the stream extraction operator, which is this. So the stream extraction operator is like this. So it is 2 times. So let's take the input A, and let's take input B. So we can take multiple input in a single line using this. We can also take input like this, a C in A, then C in B. But the above one is saving the space. So now in order to output print these numbers, we will use the cout object. So cout is a predefined object of ostream class. Like cin is the object of iostream class. Cout is the object of ostream class. It is connected to the standard output device, which in our case is a display screen, and it is used in conjunction with stream insertion operator. So stream insertion, which is basically this one. Okay, so now let's print this. So we can print here string as well. Like let's suppose I am printing like this, first number, and I have to, for multiple, I can use again the second stream insertion operator, and here write the name A. Then I will add second number, then I will write B. Now there is another predefined object called endl, which is also defined in the ostream class. So cout and endl are present in ostream class. So what it does, it is used to insert a new line character and flushes the stream. So you will understand. I will show you after running this program. So now how we will run this file. So in order to run this file, C++ provide a command which in which we use G++. After that, we will add the name of the file, which in our case is cpp_1.cpp. So now after this, it will create an executable file, and it will name it with this name. Let's run this. So as you can see that it has given some random name like a.out. But what if we want our executable file to be given some different name? So in that case, what we can do is that we can use -o, and here we will give the name. I want to name the same cpu_1. So now you can see that here it is. Now in order to run this, we have to just run this file using as it is present in the current directory. So we can use /cpp_1. We have to just run this file. Now it is asking for input. Let's give it input 1, then it is input 2, and you can see that first number 1, second number 2. Now you can see the output is very messy. So in that case, we want our output to be like that. There should be some space, and this should be in a second line. So what we can do is that here we can add or endl here. Let's go back. If here we will add endl, then it will add a new line character here, and this one will go to the second line. So let's compile it again using the same command. Now it's compiled. Now run that. We will add 1, we will add 2, and now you can see that now here it is, there is no space. So in order to add space, we can add a space here. Again we will compile. One, 2, and now you can see it is printing in our way. So this is how we take input and output in C++, and we have now seen how we can use and include header file in a program. So in the next video we will see about using namespace std, and we will also create one header file. So let's meet in the next video. Till then, thank you, bye.